A really wise subscriber on this YouTube channel commented a few days ago, "The minute I realized that I created it, I no longer needed an apology." So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Andrea here from createyourfuture.co. So I'm a law of attraction coach, and today I'm going to give you an example of how everyone is you pushed out and talk about getting an apology, okay? And about apologies when it comes to other people sort of wronging us. So I'm going to do this in a story, and just before we get into that story, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon below, because I do put out new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, each one of them designed to help you create something wonderful in your life. So here's a story from my real life, okay? So I do live with my SP. He's amazing. And so one Sunday, he was going out to renew his cell phone plans. So he goes, and he was going to a very busy store, and he was gone for about 3.5 hours. And I was at home here working, and I thought to myself at about 3.5 hours, I'm like, he's not back yet. I'm like, that's a long time. I'm like, I bet you he's going to be in a pretty bad mood, at the store for like 3 hours. I'm like, And then, sure enough, half an hour later, he came home. And of course I go running out and I'm like, "Oh, you're home. And he's like, rawr, I'm like, "What do you want for dinner?" And he was rawr, just absolutely in the worst mood ever. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I just walked off. I avoided fighting with him, reacting, came in my office, and I'm like thinking, working a little bit. I'm like, how dare he, blah, 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 getting all mad at me. What did I do? I wasn't even there, right? And then all of a sudden I stopped and I thought to myself, well, you know what? It was like, he should apologize to me, and I thought to myself, all of a sudden I thought to myself, I thought back and I said, you know what? No, if I just focus on this, I'm just going to give it way more power, and it's not going to, it's not going to change. So I said to myself, well, okay, I intend for him to be in a good mood. I intend for him to get over it. And then all of a sudden, I thought to myself, well, you know what, though? I want him to apologize to me, because I can't believe he did what he did. Like, what the heck, right? That wasn't cool, He didn't need to be like that to me, right? And then as I was sitting there and pondering that thought and making my intentions that he would be in a good mood and he would apologize to me, all of a sudden a thought came over me. And I was like, you know what? About an hour ago, I was sitting here and I had the thought that he was going to come home in a bad mood. And all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, I created that. I'm like, I'm the one who created him coming home in a bad mood. And I was like, and now I'm wanting him to apologize to me. I was like, no, I should be the one apologizing to him for creating that. So anyway, so at that realization, I was like, yeah, you know what? I intend for him to be in a good mood, and I intend for him to get over it. So after sitting in here for about 15 minutes after I came to that realization, I went out and I went and sat down, and I was like, hi, and all of a sudden a big sigh came out of him, and all of a sudden he looked at me and he said, "I appreciate you." And he's like, "I'm sorry, I just had a bad day." And I was like, but then I was like, all of a sudden I was like, no, you don't owe me an apology. I'm like, I owe you an apology. He's like, why? I'm like, never mind, don't worry about it, right? So, really, when it comes down to it, everyone is us pushed out. So we really do create everything in our reality. I created him coming home in a bad mood because I thought about it. And sure enough, like a good little Jerry doll, he came home in a bad mood. And that's what I got, because that's what I thought, that's what I created. And for me to take any moment to sit here and think, oh, he owes me an apology for the way he's acting. No, he's acting exactly the way that I created him to act, in a bad mood. So who owed who the apology? I owed him the apology for creating him to do that, really, when we think about it. So when we take responsibility for our thoughts and we realize that we actually create the way that people act and treat us, the question is, do we really even need the apology? Because we created it. They need to say, oh, I'm sorry that you made an intention that I was going to be in a bad mood, and then I showed up in a bad mood, and I'm so sorry for for showing up the way you figured I would, right? You know? So yeah, that's my video for today. The question is, right, is an apology ever really needed when you were the one that created it anyway? And I'm kind of quoting that from one of the subscribers on this channel. I saw the comment and they actually had wrote that, and they said the minute I realized that I created it, I no longer needed an apology. And that's absolutely true, is the minute that we realize that we created the way that they're acting, why do they need to apologize for it? Because that's not going to change the way that they're acting. The way that we change the way that they're acting is by changing our inner dialogue and changing our thoughts. So yeah, take a look at your relationships in your life, you know. Ask yourself with the people that have wronged you and that you need an apology from, you know, is there something that you did to create that? What thoughts did you have that created that? Go back, take some responsibility for them, and start changing them, because the minute that you realize that you're the one that actually owes them the apology, that they'll automatically apologize to you. And that's how we get an apology when it comes down to creating with the law of attraction, is we get what we give, right? So anyways, yeah, that's my video for today. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. You guys are all absolutely amazing, and we'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.